Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a topic that has sparked countless arguments, baffled millions of men, and probably caused a few frustrated sighs from women everywhere. We're talking about that age-old question: why do women expect men to understand them without saying anything? If you've ever been in a relationship and felt like your partner was subtly hinting at something, or even directly upset with you, and you had absolutely no idea why, you are definitely not alone. This isn't just a stereotype. There's some fascinating psychology at play here, and understanding it can actually transform your relationships. So, let's dive in. Our journey begins way back in our evolutionary history. Think about it. For millennia, women have been primary caregivers. This role required a heightened sense of empathy and an ability to interpret subtle cues from infants who couldn't verbalize their needs. A cry could mean hunger, discomfort, or just a need for closeness. This ability to read nonverbal communication became a survival advantage, and it's been hardwired into many women's brains over generations. They developed a finely tuned radar for emotional states and unspoken needs. So, when they interact with adult partners, some of that same expectation can carry over. If they can understand a baby without words, surely their partner, who can speak, should be able to pick up on their cues too, right? It's not a conscious thought, but a deeply ingrained pattern. Now, let's look at how typical communication styles often diverge between genders. Generally speaking, and I emphasize generally, women are often socialized towards more nurturing and connection-oriented communication. Sharing feelings, processing emotions out loud, and seeking empathy are common. For many women, simply expressing an emotion or a problem, even without explicitly asking for a solution, can be a way to connect and feel understood. They might be looking for validation, a simple "I hear you," or just someone to listen. Men, on the other hand, are often socialized towards more direct, problem-solving communication. If there's an issue, the goal is often to find a solution, fix it, and move on. So, when a woman expresses a feeling without a clear, "What do you want me to do about this?" a man's brain often goes into fix-it mode. He might offer advice, which, while well-intentioned, can sometimes feel dismissive to a woman who just wanted to be heard. This fundamental difference in communication goals can lead to a lot of misunderstanding. She thinks she's communicating clearly through her emotional expression. He's waiting for the explicit request for action. Beyond evolution and communication styles, societal conditioning plays a huge role. For generations, media, literature, and even our own parents sometimes subtly, or not so subtly, reinforce the idea that a good or attentive partner will just know what their significant other needs or wants. Think of romantic comedies where the hero magically understands the heroine's deepest desires without a word. Or the trope of the husband who should have known it was their anniversary. These narratives, while entertaining, create an unrealistic expectation that true love means telepathy. Women absorb these messages from a young age, and it can create an internal pressure. If my partner truly loves and understands me, he should be able to pick up on these cues. If he doesn't, it might feel like a lack of care or attention, even when that's far from the truth. It's not just about what isn't said. It's also about how things are said, or rather shown. Women, generally, are highly attuned to nonverbal cues, body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, even subtle changes in routine. If a woman comes home and sighs heavily, or seems a bit withdrawn, she might feel she's communicating clearly through these signals. Her expectation is that her partner, noticing these cues, will then inquire, "Is everything okay?" or "You seem a bit down." This opens the door for her to share. If he doesn't pick up on it, she might interpret it as disinterest or a lack of observation. For men, while they also process nonverbal cues, they might not assign the same level of communicative weight to them without accompanying verbal signals. They might see the sigh, but not immediately connect it to a need for conversation or intervention, especially if they're focused on their own tasks or thoughts. So, if you're a man watching this, how can you navigate this silent expectation? Ask open-ended questions. Instead of assuming or trying to fix, simply ask, "You seem a bit quiet. Is everything okay?" Or what's on your mind? Practice active listening. When she does speak, put down your phone, make eye contact, and truly listen. Reflect back what you hear. So, it sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed by work right now. Validate feelings first. Before offering solutions, validate her emotions. That sounds really frustrating, or I can see why you'd be upset. This shows you understand her experience. Clarify needs. It's okay to ask, are you looking for advice right now, or do you just want me to listen? This empowers her to tell you what she needs. Pay attention to patterns. Over time, you'll start to recognize your partner's specific nonverbal cues. If you know a certain look usually means she's stressed, you can proactively check in. Communicate your own style. Share with her that sometimes you need explicit communication, and it's not because you don't care, but because your brain is wired to look for direct requests. And to the women watching, while these expectations are deeply rooted, consciously shifting how you communicate can be incredibly empowering and lead to more fulfilling relationships. Practice explicit communication. It might feel unnatural at first, but try directly stating your needs and feelings. I'm feeling overwhelmed and just need you to listen for a few minutes, or I'd really appreciate it if you could help with X. Don't expect mind reading. Understand that your partner genuinely might not pick up on subtle cues, and it's not a reflection of his care or love. Educate your partner. Share videos like this. Talk to him about your communication style and what you need from him. Accept different communication styles. Recognize that his problem-solving approach often comes from a place of wanting to help, even if it's not what you need at that moment. Vulnerability is powerful. Directly expressing your needs isn't a weakness. It's an act of vulnerability and strength that deepens connection. Ultimately, the silent expectation isn't about one gender being right and the other wrong. It's about fundamental differences in communication styles, evolutionary history, and societal conditioning. By understanding these differences, both men and women can make conscious efforts to bridge the gap. Men can become more attuned and actively inquire, and women can feel empowered to voice their needs directly. This leads to less frustration, deeper understanding, and ultimately, stronger, more connected relationships. What are your experiences with this silent expectation? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more relationship insights, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.